Women are the driving force in Africa's agricultural sector. They produce 80% of the food and account for nearly 50% of the agricultural workforce, which is mainly active in rural areas. At the same time, women lack access to essential knowledge and training opportunities in relevant agricultural value chains owing to existing socio-cultural norms and barriers. As a result, women's potential to increase agricultural productivity and profitability on the continent remains untapped. The African Union (AU) established the Comprehensive African Agriculture Development Program (CAADP) as a strategy to achieve agriculture-based growth and food security on the continent. The ambiguous CAADP goals and the vision of agricultural transformation can only be realized if the majority of the workforce in the sector, African women, are empowered. This includes decision-making power and access to income-enhancing skills development. For this reason, German International Cooperation (GIZ), on behalf of the German government and in partnership with the continental partners, the NEPAD Planning and Coordinating Agency and the African Union Commission, is implementing agricultural technical vocational education and training (ATVET). In order for women to benefit, training delivery has to be inclusive, gender-sensitive, and labor market-oriented. The ATVET for Women project is currently being implemented in 6 out of 55 AU member states: Kenya, Malawi, Ghana, Benin, Burkina Faso, and Togo. The gender transformative approach to agricultural skills development takes into account women's diverse roles and needs in society by focusing on competency-based training courses along selected agricultural value chains. ATVET for Women program builds gender competence at project and partner level and addresses current needs with innovative interventions and methods. In the second year of implementation, all participating pilot countries include provisions of national gender-sensitive policies in their work plans and statutes. In all 6 partner countries, the program has designed unique selling projects. These interventions use human impact stories to demonstrate barriers to women's empowerment in agriculture and how to overcome these with gender transformative skills development. It is intended that championing women and men as visible role models and agents of change will lead to a gender transformative shift in perception and result in glass ceilings finally being shattered for the African female farmer. Against this backdrop, GIZ CAADP ATVET for Women project in Ghana has introduced women in the driving seat, training women in tractor operation, maintenance and management with partnership from Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Agriculture Engineering Services Directorate, and Women in Agricultural Development Directorate to improve their skills and knowledge of the trainees in modern agricultural machinery and their usage with the view of improving their financial and economic status of beneficiary women in their families. The Women in the Driving Seat program is divided into Southern Sector and Northern Sector. The Southern Sector training took place at Adidome Farm Institute in the Volta Region, whereas the Northern Sector training will take place at the Wenchi Farm Institute in the Bono Ahafo region. On the 7th September 2018, the Southern Sector training was launched by the Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture, Honorable George Odro. The ceremony saw 31 women enroll at Adidome Farm Institute to train as tractor operators for a month. At the launch of the program, the Deputy Minister, George Odro, charged the women to take advantage of the opportunity offered them to become tractor operators.
Women are very, very careful. Very, 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 very careful. So, we are going to train you, and I know at the ministry, once I'm there and I'm here to run the program today, you make sure when the mechanization centers are established, we are going to give it to you under your care. Because of being a good manager. So on this note, I'll commend DIC again and the ministry for designing this program, and then I therefore officially launch this program today, and may God bless you.
The women were introduced to the facilitators on 8th September 2018. Dr. Bafo Ewua, project consultant of Women in the Driving Seat (WITS), advised the beneficiaries to take the training serious in order to meet their expectations at the end of the program.
They put premium on the things you can do with your hands. But we put premium on the language that Matthew can speak. That's all that he knows about. And we have to do it. That is why government created that path. That we don't want anybody's education, technical education, become the dead end. That people go to technical school, they cannot progress. That one is past and gone. The country needs people that can do things with their hands. Because the talking is too much, but the doing is very little. So I wish you success. Please take advantage of what we are doing. We told you this is the first time. If you do it well, we are blessed.
Michael Boatin, national expert, GIZ Cadet ATVET for women, urged the beneficiaries to focus on how to utilize the skills acquired at the program to better their lives and help boost agriculture in Ghana.
In this program, that we'll be taking through the process, how to identify business opportunities, how you develop a business opportunity, how do you register your business, everything. And I'm sure you should now be thinking about making money than you waiting for you to be engaged by somebody. Now, if you leave this place and you are able to do your research and identify tractor owners and negotiate with them, do it as even if the person is your family member. Don't go family member arrangement. Go as a business arrangement level where you go to the person, tell the person that you have a tractor, I'm a trained tractor operator, I can use your tractor, I'm going to use this tractor and I'm paying you this amount of money every day or every week. And then you have an agreement to sign. I'm sure the person will be willing to give it to you and you go and make money. And by the time you realize you have generated more money and you buy yourself a tractor and you become a tractor owner yourself. So let's be thinking about us creating business for ourselves than we be engaged by somebody.
At the start of the training program, some of the trainees shared with us their expectations.
We are from the agric background, farming and all that, but then we had to learn about the tractors. That's like more like engineering kind of thing, with the engines and then everything, learning about combustion, how it moves from the inside out. But then it wasn't so bad. It's okay. It was okay. My expectations are that by the end of this program, we should be able to mount implements, move the tractors up and down, move with the trailers, go reverse, all the necessary things that are supposed to actually work on the farm well with the tractors so that we can increase productivity.
I really love agric, but from the far distance. So this opportunity is like a godsend to me. I was expecting much more, but they have exceeded my expectation. They taught us how to work with it and how to change fuel, the lubrication system, and even the opportunities we will have after we have learned this. So I'm really excited to try it on.
We are going to put on our best because we've been given the theory aspect of doing it, and I think that has been a guide and it's with us. And then we'll use that to apply on the field and then use the tractor. So I see there wouldn't be any difficulty in doing it.
Without the basic knowledge, I can't enforce the proper maintenance of the implement. So at least I should be able to educate myself and pass it on to the other people on the farm.
The first week of the program focused on the theoretical aspect of the training. Among the courses run were Introduction to Farm Tractors, Operation System and its Components, Tractor Engine Part and its Functions, Maintenance of Farm Machinery, Environmental Health and Safety Management in Tractor Operations, Understanding Wheel Tractor Control, Instrument and Driving. The methods of teaching and materials adopted by the facilitators enhance the smooth running of the program.
With the car you have what we call the propeller shaft. Do you see? Whereby a long shaft. So then you have the engine in front.
There's supposed to be wind.
You see? Then you have a long shaft like this type, which goes to drive the air. So this is how you see it. Where you don't have to.
And here will also be 25. Okay, making 100. That is why it is not easy for crawler machine to overturn or somersault or something. Okay, because the weight distribution is equal. That is why it is done that way.
You see this one? You see this? When the fuel comes from the tank, but they place a sediment bowl. We call this a sediment bowl.
That's
this one, yeah, this one is a filter, but it has a sediment bowl under. It's placed so that you can see the fuel.
Yes.
So every morning when you come, you go under here. There's something, you just turn it, force and open it, and allow the fuel here. If you want, you can use a pan to collect it, and you look inside, you see water because of condensation.
Okay, this is a combustion chamber. There's this space. Okay, so the fuel and air is mixed into the system.
This is the work behind tractor. It's an example of it. But the power tiller in the room is the typical example. This is also an example. This one is more of the harvester.
The second week of the program saw the women being taught how to move a tractor. Though it was a Herculean task, these women proved their mettle and drove the tractor.
You are now about to go for the tractor operation. That's the first practical. What are you expecting? Are you in a kind of shivering or you are stable?
Oh, I'm stable. Because of the tractor operation, I'm here, so I'm not afraid.
How is it going?
Oh, it's all smooth, going well.
I can see you're taking it lightly, like there's no fear.
Yeah, as I said earlier, confidence is the whole thing. So when you're confident, you're already there. So right now, what I'm going to do is that I want to go back.
Going reverse, what are some of the things you need to consider?
Okay, you need to use your mirrors. It's not every time when you are going back, you're checking to see where you are going. Use your mirrors to direct the rate at which you are going.
When we start the class, it wasn't easy because we are new to the program. Now we are picking the things, but from the beginning, you know, we are just a beginners, so we know nothing. But nowadays we are picking things very, very well.
Again, in the third week, they focused on plowing, harrowing, and how to set planters. They shared how the feeling was like.
This is an opportunity to learn how to drive and operate the tractor, so that I don't have a tractor personally, but the tractor ratio to the farmers in my district is limited. So if I'm able to operate it on my own, I can probably use someone's tractor to plow my own land when it's time for land preparation.
That's impressive. What have you learned? Tell us.
How to start the tractor, move it, and maintain. And as a tractor operator, there are certain hazards or pollution I cause to the environment. So I should put in measures to minimize the potential hazards that I cause.
I felt okay, just that the tractor will be throwing you, shaking it all around, but it's okay. That was my first time experiencing or operating the tractor attached to the secondary implement or harrowing. Yeah.
So far so good. When I came very fresh, when I first set my eyes on the tractor, I've only been seeing tractors on the road. And when I see it, I feel it meant something. So it has never even cut across my mind that someday I'll find myself in the driving seat, specifically to be on a tractor. So the first experience, there was so much fear. We got there and we are like, okay, this is it. The reality is right before you. There was so much fear. But after the few days, after the first experience, after we were exposed to it, how to go about things and all that, I became abreast with it. So now I'm cool to go.
As part of the course, the trainees visited some companies to get hands-on knowledge of what they were being taught in the classroom. During the industrial visit, the beneficiaries were introduced to different kinds of farm machinery like heavy tractors, combine harvesters, big planters, and many more. Their first port of call was to the Gatco Ghana Limited. Here they were received warmly by the staff of the company and offered to teach them the uses of the various farm machines at their center.
You are welcome to Gatco Ghana Limited. In Gatco, what we do is basically we are into rice production. Now, what we do here is we manage the end-to-end processes, all the value chain we take control over. This is a typical rice harvester for us, not a small type, okay? What this is to do is what? Cut, thresh, sieve, and then what? Store. 3 different types of planters on this field, and they are all direct drill. The good part of it is 2 of them can do 0 till, okay? So everything that we do here is direct planting. This is a 24-foot boom sprayer. Everything there is what? Fully automated.
They again visited Mechanical Lloyd Company Limited, which specializes in vehicle bodyworks, vehicle spraying, sale and service of Ford, BMW, among others. Here, the trainees practically learn how to maintain tractors, combine harvesters, tillers, plowing machines, among others. Again, the trainees visited Dizengov, dealers and importers of tractors and other heavy vehicles. The women in the driving seat paid a courtesy call on the country director of GIZ, Alan Walsh. He applauded the women for their immense effort to make this program a success.
Director, this is a team from Adidome Farm Institute. The GIZ on behalf of BMZ supporting the cadet implementation of the 4 modules, which we have 80 vets and then 80 vets for women. 80 vets are agricultural, technical, vocational education training for women, and that we are trying to train some women in tractor operation, maintenance and management. So we started 3 weeks ago at the Adidome Farm Institute. It was launched formally by the Deputy Minister in charge of horticulture, and then they have been there for the past 3 weeks. Next week is the closing, and we'll be done with the training. And so as part of the industrial visit to Accra this afternoon, we decided to pay a courtesy for you. I know that you have women issues at hand, and I can remember doing our last year, this year national personnel meeting, we made mention of your support to women issues in agri sector and even in everything that they do. So I thought it was a good initiative, and then for us to come and say hello to you and then probably take some few words from you. So that's the team. There are 31 ladies, and then we have some staff from Agric Engineering Services Directorate of the Ministry of Food and Agric. They are supporting this training, so their staff are also here. So that's the team.
Thank you very much for this introduction, and thank you very much for coming. Welcome to GIZ, to GIZ office. As mentioned, my name is Alan Walsh, and I brought my bodyguard with me, Mariam, who is also working here in the office on gender issues. So, women in the driving seat. I love that sentence. I love that notion. Can you all drive?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
What are you driving?
Tractors.
Tractors. Wow, I would see that. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be afraid when you are driving?
No! It's never easy. You have to go through many challenges. And also, I think the self-confidence is another thing. We had to build it up gradually from day in, day out. And thanks to our facilitators who were there for us.
Any other suggestion or recommendation?
Mine is a suggestion. You said there is no money in your pocket to offer, but I think you can also help by pushing things through when it comes to this particular program. So now that you are going to meet in 2 weeks' time, you can bring our issue on board and then you debate on it, how best you can help us to make it, since we don't want to go and sit idling. Especially those who don't have jobs doing. That is a request.
Well, this I can definitely do, and you have my word for this, that I'm lobbying a lot to respect and integrate female in jobs where before it was male dominated, but there needs to be a change in Ghana also, in all the countries and in Ghana as well. So we are really discussing for it, and each opportunity we have, we take to present also what has been done and that it's successful as well. This is also important, and that women can do it and should do it also. Yeah? Not only can, but should. Yeah, it should be integrated and paid. This is also important.
I would like to, on their behalf, thank you for having us. Thank you for squeezing some time from your busy schedule to have us. We really appreciate it. And we hope that next year, more innovative program championing women issues in agri will also come into your form to grace such occasions. So thank you very much on behalf of the women in the driving seat. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much for coming.
Yes.
GIZ, as the German Corporation for International Development, we are engaged by the German government to see the equal rights for women and men, and in particular also to support women in professions, in new professions where they classically it's male dominated, but women also can do it. So we are very much motivated to support women who want to do it here in Ghana, to change also the image and the possible professions and get new jobs in areas where formerly they have not been present. Women should be, and hopefully are, successful, and even more successful than men. Surveys show that in particular for driving, women are more carefully driving, using less petrol, they are using or producing less accidents, so it's more cost efficient as well. Women are more taking care of their vehicles, so they should fight. I have here, I'm a fighter. This is a kind of symbol for it, and women should fight for it. We have the mandate as GIZ to support training programs, to do the capacity development in different sectors, and this is one of the sectors, and in particular for women, for females, to do the training, to guarantee a good training, to guarantee that they do their certificate and in the end they hopefully will find a job. So society have to take it up and integrate these trained women in possible jobs, so that in future we will see in the regions, on the fields, not only men driving tractors but also female. And I'm doing what I can in my position to lobby also and to sensitize people, government, farmers, private sector to engage these trained women.
It's beyond impressive for me that we have come very far, even with the rhetoric of empowering women. You can remember that Nana Konadu started with all the other women and came to Ghana, affirmative action and all of that. And we're thinking, okay, where are women going from here? And to see that women are breaking through male-dominated sectors, for me, it's empowering. Because I think empowering one woman is empowering the whole of the woman race. So if we can empower one woman at a time, we'll get to a point where we don't need to even be talking about Agenda 2030, empowering women. We are part of the human race. Why must we be relegated to the background just because of our sex and not because we are intrinsically unable to do the job? And so for me, it's very encouraging, and the women with their bright faces and smiles, I am rooting for them and hoping that they succeed in the endeavor that they've started. The idea is not to push someone into something that they don't want. And the idea for me also is not about forcing the numbers. It's about a desire for the person to do it, and then you give them the opportunity to do it. That's what empowerment is about. My desire to do it, you giving me the space to do it, and then being on the same footing as my male counterparts. So yes, I'm really excited for that. I think it would be a cliche to say what men can do, women can do and do best. We've gone past that now. Statistics show the population, so many women, we relegate women to the background. Men have women as wives and say, oh, this woman is the woman who can take care of my kids. If you entrust me with those precious little kids of yours, then indeed you can entrust me with everything else. So I think we've come very far. We will go far, and I'm happy. I'm one of the 21st century examples of women's empowerment. And go women!
Having successfully gone through the meal, the trainees were issued specialized driving licenses for tractor operation by the Driver Vehicle and Licensing Authority, DVLA.
We came to Adidome Farm Institute to assess the performance of female students, women in tractor operation, and then we'll access their competencies and see if they qualified to be awarded a license, operator license, to be able to use on the farm as part of bridging the gender gap between the male and female in the farm so far as tractor operation is concerned. Upon interaction with the female applicants, I must say the expectation has been very wonderful. Looking at their understanding, the in-depth knowledge that they have demonstrated, I have no doubt in my mind that they have done wonderfully well, and I believe the facilitators here, the tutors, have done a very good job by preparing the lady female operators effectively and efficiently. I must say I am very impressed, and it is going well, and I can assure you that whatever they are doing is for a good cause.
After the 1-month intensive training, a graduation ceremony was held to officially commission the women into work. Deputy Minister of Food and Agriculture in charge of horticulture, George Odro, commended the women for their dedication to the pursuit of the program. He again expressed government's commitment to set up mechanization centers across the country in partnership with the private sector.
Okay, we were here 1 month ago to launch the program, that's the women in the driving seat. But we were even thinking that 1 month was not even enough. But today, when you came here and you went to the field, we were surprised that these women have been able to use 1 month to do this training, the management and the servicing of agric machinery. So we like to commend them for the good work and the hard work that they've done so far. We are very, very happy. What I've witnessed today is beyond imagination. We thank God for them for being able to come out or pass out for this program successfully within 1 month. Initially, you see, our mechanization centers or those who are doing the commercial farming were the people who used to have these agric machines. However, the government is trying to boost the agric sector. So even all the smallholder farmers are going to be included. That is why the government is set up mechanization centers across the country to be managed by private sector. Before, the government was giving subsidy to farmers and giving them tractors and equipment on 50% subsidy sometimes. But that program didn't succeed because some of the farmers, after taking the equipment, the payment, there was a challenge. And they too were saying they did not have the servicing and spare parts attached to the facility. So now we are going to do it at mechanization centers by private sector with the support of the ministry. so that the servicing and the supply of the equipment will be available to every farmer for a small fee. Meanwhile, the ministry is going to set up the fee to be charged by these operators. We don't want the price to be so high so that the farmers cannot access these services. So the price is going to be controlled or monitored, or there will be a negotiation between the private sector who is operating the mechanization center and the ministry, so that will fix a fee which will be affordable for the farmers to access. So the machines is going to be available from December going, so that all the farmers will be able to expand and their yield will also go up to boost the agri sector.
Joseph Sapon, National Coordinator for GIZ Ghana, charged the women to make optimum use of the skills and knowledge acquired. He hinted of an expansion of the program to cover more women. Alan Walsh, Country Director GIZ Ghana, hinted that his outfit was going to liaise with the government of Ghana to help the women access some of the tractors.
Well, we are implementing institution as GIZ on behalf of the German government, of the Ministry of Economic Development and Cooperation. And we will have next week also intergovernmental negotiations, and we will see what in future GIZ can do more for this kind of training programs. I hope that it will continue, but we rely also on the decisions of the two governments in their negotiations.
Facilitators of women in a driving seat enumerated some of the areas covered in the training.
We have been tasked with the duty of training the ladies on tractor operation and its applications. So we took them through a 1-month journey of training, where they were they were taken through programs like the tractor features and their functions, tractor safety, machine safety precautions, and farm safety in general. Then we went through machine maintenance. Here we mean the tractor and this equipment and other implements. Then we went through other programs like tillage and tillage practices and their implements. Then we did cultivation, that is primary tillage activities, which included harrowing and rotavating. Now, after that, we took them through planting and planting procedures, and then the planting machine. We taught them how to set the planter, both for between row and intercrop, how to do that setting. After taking them through the planter, then we went through crop management, and here it means they were taken through how to calibrate for chemical application, whether it is fertilizer or whether it is a weedicide, herbicide, or whatever. Now, the ladies were 31 in number, and they came in here as complete neophytes that they had no knowledge about. Only 3 of them knew how to do a little bit of driving. The rest knew nothing about even what a clutch or an accelerator pedal is. They knew nothing about that. So gradually we took them through driving techniques, then took them through the road signs, took them through road markings, and any other traffic requirements that are needed for a driver to know. Then after that, we took them to the field, where we introduced them to the tractor, took them through all the procedures of driving, took them through all the procedures of doing proper tillage, and then took them through the procedures of doing proper handling of the machine while it's on the field. Field adjustments, off-field adjustments, and all those things, we took them through that. And it was surprising. They were rather easy to deal with them, most of our main operators that we've taken through. And they caught up so easily.
In all, the excited beneficiaries of women in the driving seat, WITS, also shared their joy.
When we started the program, it looked so strange because most of us had seen tractors before but never knew anything about tractors. God being so good, the team had facilitators who were down to earth. They understood our situation and decided to help us get whatever was into the program. And they had the opportunity of breaking down the subject in such a way that we could understand both the theory and practicals. The facilitators did their best to let us understand. The other issue was also that we had field practicals, and the field practicals, we normally do the theories and then we go to the field to do the practicals. And since we were not used to the implement, we felt we couldn't even handle one. But now we can confidently boast of the fact that we as women in the driving seat can move a tractor, we can plow, we can do harrowing, we can hitch implements on tractors, as well as using them with all expertise on the field. On that note, we would like to say a very big thank you to our organizers. We'd like to say thank you to our facilitators, the headmaster of the institute, and to my colleague learners. We put on our best, and I say God bless us all. Women
In the driving seats.
Women
In the driving seats.
Women
In the driving